We'll be announcing the tariffs on Canada and Mexico for a number of reasons. And I'll be putting the tariff of 25% on Canada.
Hello guys! Welcome to my channel! So today is January 30 and kanina nga nag-release ng bagong balita si Donald Trump na itutuloy nga niya yung pagsasampa niya ng tariff sa Canada on February 1. Marami na domino effect ang ginawa ng pagbabanta na ito ni Trump. Isa sa mga domino effect is nagbaba nga yung Bank of Canada ng rate, overnight rate kahapon lang. And nag-release nga yung Bank of Canada ng mga statement ng mga maaaring mangyari sa economy ng Canada kapag natuloy ang tariff threat ni Trump. So, kanina may napanood akong video na ipinapaliwanag kung ano yung maaaring mangyari sa Canada pagka itinuloy nga ni Trump yung threat niya na pagsampa ng tariff sa Canada. So, gusto kong panoorin natin to. And at the same time, magko-comment ako along the way habang pinapanood natin yung video nito. So, halika, panoorin natin.
Well, it's where Donald Trump goes full steam ahead and implements 25% tariffs across the board, as he said he'll do, and where Canada implements sweeping retaliatory tariffs in response, as they've suggested they might do.
So, ang pinapaliwanag sa video nito, pag natuloy yung pagpapatong ng tariff ni Trump sa Canada, ng mga bagay na ine-export ng Canada sa Amerika, magre-retaliate naman yung Canada. So, any product na i-export ng Amerika sa Canada, papatungan din ng Canada ng tariff ang mga ito. So, tuloy natin.
The first thing the Bank of Canada predicts is that this would cause a significant decline in the volume of exports.
So, magkakaroon daw ng significant decline in the volume of exports. So, pakinggan natin yung paliwanag nila.
From Canada to the US.
Usually when there's less demand for a product, the price of that product falls as well. And the Bank of Canada is saying that would happen here.
Whether you're exporting to the US or not is almost irrelevant. It's just merely the fact that you are producing more than what your domestic economy needs.
So, ang sabi nga, since magpapatong ng tariff ang Amerika sa Canada ng mga product na ini-export ng Canada sa Amerika, ang mangyayari kasi nito, tandaan ninyo na ang nag-i-import ng mga product na yan from Canada is mga American businessmen. So, kung mataas ang babayaran nila sa pag-i-import ng mga product na galing sa Amerika because of the tariff, ang gagawin ng mga businessman ito na nasa Amerika is maghahanap sila ng ibang source kung saan pwede lang kuhanin yung mga product na yun. So, hindi na sila mag-outsource sa Canada. At the same time, mag-outsource sila sa ibang mga bansa kung saan mas mura nilang makukuha yung mga product na yun. So, ang mangyayari, itong mga product na nasa Canada na supposed to be pupunta sa Amerika, hindi na matutuloy. So, ang mangyayari sa mga product nito, mai-stock sila dito sa loob ng Canada. So, ang mangyayari naman nun, pag nandito lang sila sa loob ng Canada, mataas yung supply ng mga product na yun, pero mababa ang demand. Kasi nga yung demand na dapat na nasa Amerika, since ang mga product na ito is supposed to be pupunta sa Amerika, mawawala yung demand na yun. So, nandito lang sila sa Canada, mataas ang supply ng product, kukunti yung demand, law of supply and demand, ang mangyayari niyan is bababa ang presyo ng mga product na yun. And anong mangyayari pag bumaba yung presyo ng mga product na yun? Tingnan natin.
So you take those things together, lower demand for Canadian goods and lower prices for those goods. That's bad news for Canadian business.
Bad news.
And you know what Canada exports an awful lot of? Oil.
Oil. Kasi guys, ang number one consumer ng Canadian oil is ang Amerika. So kung papatungan ni Donald Trump ang oil ng tariff at hindi mag-e-export ng oil ang Canada sa Amerika, ano mangyayari dun sa oil na yun? Mananatili lang dito sa Canada yun. So mataas ang supply, kakaunti ang demand. Bababa ang presyo ng oil. So, anong mangyari pag bumaba ang presyo ng oil? Tuloy natin.
If you take $10 off the price of oil, that's, a couple $1 billion less of royalty revenue that the province is bringing in.
And here you start to see how every downside outcome causes another downside outcome, like dominoes falling one by one. Because the Bank of Canada writes that eventually that kind of hit to business would cause Canadian exporters to lower production and lay off workers.
So, ayan, yun ka mangyayari. So, bababa yung kita ng gobyerno, bababa yung kita ng mga producers dito sa Canada, Kasi nga, hindi sila makapag-export sa Amerika. So, pag bumaba yung kita nila, ano yung mangyayari? Magle-layoff sila ng mga workers. So, marami yung mawawala ng trabaho dahil nga sa epekto ng tariff na ito.
They've got to scale down if they're not making the same kind of money, right? There's no exact figure for how many jobs they think could be lost, but
We would probably expect the unemployment rate rises about a percentage point or so.
You're easily talking into the hundreds of thousands of jobs.
Doug Ford says as many as 500,000 jobs in Ontario alone.
500,000 jobs in Ontario alone. So, kalahating milyon sa Ontario ang mawawalan ng trabaho.
Just about everybody involved in this has a slightly different figure, but the short answer is an enormous number of Canadian jobs are exposed to this, are at risk as a result of it.
and it's not just job losses, because when you think about how Canada might retaliate, putting countervailing tariffs, taxes on American imports to Canada. I mean, just think of what American
So, ito naman, different scenario guys. So, yung mga ine-export ng Amerika sa Canada. So, ano yung mangyari sa mga yun? Tuloy natin.
products you rely on any given day.
Things like fresh fruit and vegetables, which obviously it's winter in Canada. We import a lot of those from the United States.
There's also cars, machinery, drugs, chemicals, electronics. Those might all become more expensive too.
Yan. So, binigay na example, mga produce, yung mga farm goods, mga prutas. Since winter dito sa Canada, wala tayong mga sariling produce, wala tayong sariling mga fruits na pinuproduce dito sa Canada. So, i-import natin yan sa Amerika. And since tataas yung presyo ng mga yan, kasi nga, gaganti yung Canada sa Amerika, magpapatong din sila ng tariff, tataas yung presyo ng mga yan. Eh, mga basic necessities yan. Kasi hindi naman nagpo-produce ng vegetables and fruits dito sa Canada kasi nga winter time, di ba? So, ang maapektuhan, tayo mga consumers. So, nagbigay din sila ng ibang example like kotse nga, mga cars, ano pa ba? Tuloy natin.
For the same reason that US tariffs make things more expensive in the US, Canadian companies importing American things will have to pay Canadian tariffs to the Canadian government. And in many cases, some or all of those additional costs may eventually be passed on to Canadian consumers.
Ipapasa lang sa atin yun eh. Ipapasa lang sa mga Canadian consumers yung dagdag patong sa mga product na to kasi nga nag-impose din ng tariff ng Canada sa mga American products.
The reality is that the more of their stuff that we tariff, whether it's part of the supply chain or whether it's part of just being consumers that we consume the products directly, we're going to start paying more money.
So, lost jobs, less purchasing power.
Lost jobs because of the trade wars, tariff trade wars, and loss of purchasing power. Tataas yung mga bilihin na mula sa Amerika na mga basic necessities din natin dito sa Canada.
Which brings us to the Bank of Canada's next prediction.
So, doon tayo sa next prediction ng Bank of Canada. Ano kaya ito?
According to the Bank of Canada, all of these factors together could cause Canada's GDP to fall pretty significantly. They do acknowledge in their analysis that the government could mitigate this by taking some of that tariff money that they start charging and pumping it back into the economy, either to businesses or consumers themselves.
So, isa sa mga naiisip nga na pinopropose ng Ottawa is yung kikitain ng Canada sa mga tariffs na ipapatong nila sa mga American products, parang pandemic-style relief na ibabalik sa mga workers na maapektuhan ng trabaho. So, parang magkakaroon kami ng, ano ba tawag doon? Hindi rebate eh. Parang tulong. Kasi nung pandemic guys, nagbigay din ng tulong yung government eh. So, parang ganun yung iniisip ng Ottawa. Pag sinabi kasing Ottawa, yun yung parang Manila sa Pilipinas, doon naka-relocate. Nandun yung, nandun yung pinaka-central government ng Canada eh.
But even still,
This would have a very material effect, would have a very severe effect on economic activity.
so how severe are we talking? Well, here's where we begin to understand how impossibly complex this question becomes. Because instead of giving just one definitive prediction in this case, the bank maps out multiple ways in which this one scenario could play out depending on how quickly businesses pass on their extra costs to us, the
So, maraming multiple scenario daw maaaring mangyari dahil sa effect ng tariff war na ito.
consumers, and how everybody responds to this general idea of certain things becoming more expensive. But best case, they predict next year, Canada's GDP would be 2.2% lower than what it would have been otherwise. Worst case, 3% lower. To which maybe you're like, 3%, that's not so bad. Except it's bad enough to throw the country into a recession.
The economy is growing about 1.8% right now. In their assumption, if we get a 2.5 percentage point hit to growth, that's pretty consistent with normal recession in Canada.
I think the interesting thing here is it's effectively a permanent recession. There's no real way out of that drop in GDP. And I think
So, isa nga sa mga explanation is babagsak yung GDP ng Canada. Kasi guys, yung GDP, at least yung GDP per capita, dito natin malalaman kung gaano ka-healthy yung economy ng isang bansa. Kapag bumagsak ang GDP ng Canada, GDP per capita, ibig sabihin na hindi maganda yung economy ng Canada. And kapag nangyari yun, maaaring humantong ito sa recession. Pag patuloy yung pagbaba ng GDP ng Canada, maaaring humantong ito sa recession. And sabi dito,
that's where it starts to get really hard to really measure and get your head around what that actually feels like, what it looks like.
so kasi nga, since hindi natin alam kung hanggang kailan matatapos itong tariff war na ito, hindi rin natin alam kung kailan matatapos yung recession, kung magkakaroon man. So parang sabi nga nung nagpaliwanag, maaaring permanent recession to unless may mangyari himala. So ano mangyari kapag humantong sa recession yung economy ng Canada? Ano ang gagawin ng hakbang ng Bank of Canada? Magtataas ba siya ng interest rate or magkakat siya ng interest rate? Panoorin natin.
Right? That's the lever the Bank of Canada has. But on this, the one real thing we turned to them for guidance on, they were actually pretty cryptic, opting not to give any real indication as
So, hindi nagbigay na sagot ang Bank of Canada.
to what it might do next.
There's a lot of uncertainty out there, and it just didn't seem very useful to provide guidance. And even when we do know more, we're going to have to do some more work to figure out exactly how that's going to play out through the economy.
But we've asked the question. We've all been through recessions before, so let's try to answer this question anyway.
So, tatry paliwanag ng host kung ano mangyari.
Typically, the response you would see to that would be the Bank of Canada cutting interest rates when the economy weakens.
Right, because if you lower rates, you make it cheaper for Canadians to borrow money, which makes it more likely that they'll spend money. And that can help stimulate a struggling economy.
So, isa sa mga option daw is maaari nga magbaba ng interest rate ang Bank of Canada. Kasi pag nagbaba ng interest rate yung Bank of Canada, ang ginagawa nito is parang ini-encourage niya yung mga consumer na manghiram ng pera sa mga bangko kasi nga mababa yung interest rate, and itong pera na nahiram nila is gagamitin nila sa pagbili ng mga bagay, either bahay or whatever. And pag in-spend nila yung pera na nahiram nila sa bangko, maaaring i-boost nito yung economy ng Canada. But there's always a but.
It's not so simple, because we're not just talking about a lagging economy. We're talking about higher prices at the same time.
So, yun. So, nagbaba ng interest ang bangko para makapaghiram ka. Ngayon, nakapanghiram ka na sa bangko. Gusto mong gamitin yon para mabili, ipambili, or whatever. Pero at the same time, yung mga product na bibilhin mo, matataas naman. Kasi nga, pinatungan ng tariff ni Canada ang mga presyo ng mga product na galing sa Amerika.
Growth will be weaker, inflation will be higher.
Because that's the direct impact of tariffs. When things like fruits and vegetables get more expensive, that's inflation.
That's inflation. Pag tumaas yung presyo ng mga bilihin, that's inflation. So, binabaan ng rate, nanghiram ka ng pera, pero tumaas naman yung presyo ng mga bilihin.
The Bank of Canada's #1 priority is inflation and keeping it in check. And it is predicting in this severe scenario, yes, inflation goes up. By how much? Again, depends on too many things to calculate ahead of time. And what happened most recently? When inflation was a really big problem in this country, what did the Bank of Canada do? It raised interest rates aggressively to cool the economy and try to get prices under control. And it worked. So there's reason to think maybe.
So, sabi dito, there was a time daw na tumaas yung inflation ng Canada, and ang ginawa ng Bank of Canada, tinasa nila yung interest rate. And anong nangyari? Nag-cool down yung inflation. So, meron dalawang senaryo. Isang senaryo kung saan magbababa ng rate ang Bank of Canada to fight inflation, and another scenario kung saan magtataas ng rate ang Bank of Canada to fight inflation. So, there's no right or wrong answer dito. Hindi natin alam.
Maybe they'll be forced to do that again, and we'll end up in a rate hiking cycle, which lands us now with the opposite solution that we had just outlined of cutting rates to give a lagging economy a kickstart.
So which one do? You can't
Which one will you do? You don't know.
step on the brake and the gas at the same time.
It becomes a really, volatile, interesting, and confusing mesh of countervailing forces all at play at once.
So bottom line guys, hindi rin alam ng Bank of Canada kung ano yung magiging epekto ng tariff ni Donald Trump sa economy ng Canada. So nag-layout lang sila ng mga possible scenarios and mga possible things na maaaring mangyari, pero hopefully sana hindi mangyari yun. So there you go guys. I hope kahit paano nag-enjoy kayo, and if you don't mind, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel, like this video, click the notification bell, and drop your comment na rin kasi gusto kong marinig yung comment ninyo eh. Hanggang sa susunod guys, maraming salamat po. Bye!